Hey everyone, it's Matt Hunter, the host of the Anarchist podcast, and we're on our way today to the event in Toronto, the Toronto Day of Action against Bill C-51. Now there's protests all over Canada today, protesting against this bill that they're trying to pass, and I thought I'm going to go down here and give an anarchist perspective on everything, because the event in Toronto has 4,100 people supposedly going today to it, confirmed on the Facebook event. And I know myself that out of the 4,000 or 5,000 people that'll show up to this event today to protest this Bill C-51, which in on itself is kind of a disappointment considering Toronto has a population of a couple million people. It's pretty disappointing that only thousands of Canadians have a problem with this bill, if they only knew what was in it and what repercussions and violation of our rights it will entail. So what I want to do and what I want to achieve today is, out of these 4,000 to 5,000 who will actually show up, Canadians concerned about a violation of our rights and the government and all that stuff, is that most of the people that show up today will be actually wanting more government regulations and more government involvement to fix these problems. And me being a philosophical anarchist, I've come to the conclusion that government itself, the institution of government, is the root of the problem, because they fund themselves through taxation, and taxation morally is nothing more than theft. Forceful removal of one's property. You can make the arguments that we need to fund schools, we need to fund hospitals, we need to fund whatever, but an anarchist recognizes that you cannot force someone to pay for something. That's why the free market is so successful. You're not forced to buy products in the free market like iPads. Businesses like Walmart and Best Buys and Future Shops and movie theaters and all these other things that we go to on a daily basis, nobody is forcing us to buy their products or their services. Only in the institution of government is the case that is allowed in society and is deemed acceptable. So I'm going to head down here to the protest, and I'm going to try to conduct some interviews and basically bring you guys an anarchist perspective, because so many times I go and watch videos of these protests, and their solution to Bill C-51 a lot of the time is to get more government regulation, more government involvement, and I want to educate them and show them that is actually contradictory to freedom, and that it is only going to hurt us down the road. If we want to eliminate pollution, police brutality, internet freedoms and stuff like that, and we want to protect those things, we need to eliminate government itself. And when I say eliminate, I'm not calling for a violent revolution or nothing like that. I just want to educate people, because once people are aware and educated of the philosophical understanding that government itself is immoral, just a group of people in our society claiming extra rights over the initiation of force and violence to control the population, once people can understand that concept philosophically and live themselves and conduct their lives by a moral code instead of what's deemed legally right, and ask themselves what's morally right, we will start to see the world get into a hell of a lot better situation than it is now. We've been battling this ideology called statism for thousands and thousands of years, whether it was with the Romans and the republics and democracies in Greece and everything else. Has never worked. And time has shown again, the power corrupts every time. So the solution is to put everyone on an even playing field, and that's what an anarchist is all about. No masters, no one to tell us, not to tell us what to do. We believe in rules, we just don't believe in a governing force that has extra granted rules. So that's what an anarchist is all about. We're not about throwing rocks and all these things that the media wants to make it out to be. So I'm a philosophical anarchist, libertarian, so I'll check in with you guys when I get closer to the event. Right now we're just sitting in government lines known as traffic, and if the free market owned the roads, we probably wouldn't have things such as traffic. So I'll check in with you guys when I got boots on the ground at the protest. See you guys then.